Hello and welcome to In Depth. I'm Tina Jha. In a significant milestone for India's moon mission, the Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft entered moon's orbit early on Tuesday, almost 30 days after it was launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. In the next few days, Chandrayaan-2 will do a series of maneuvers to take the spacecraft to lower orbits and eventually make it settle in an orbit of 100 kilometers into 100 kilometers orbit, where it will spend the rest of its life. The first of these maneuvers is planned for Wednesday afternoon, that is the 21st of August. The other maneuvers will take place on 28th August, 30th August, and then the 1st of September. On 7th September, Chandrayaan-2 will attempt to soft land its Vikram module on the lunar surface. If successful, the mission will make India only the fourth country after Russia, the United States of America and China to pull off a soft landing on the moon's surface. But what makes India's lunar expedition even more special is that it will go where no other country has ever gone before: the moon's south polar region. It also stands out because of its low cost, with just about 978 crore rupees spent, a much smaller price compared to similar missions by other countries. Today in In-Depth, we talk about this landmark mission by ISRO that will help us gain a better understanding of the origin and evolution of the moon, how it gives India a strategic advantage, and how Chandrayaan-2 is another accomplishment in a series of long accolades for ISRO. Well, according to ISRO, Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft has been injected into an elliptical orbit, that is 114 kilometers away from the moon's surface at its nearest point and 18,072 kilometers at its farthest. This orbit would be changed through another series of maneuvers to let the spacecraft eventually attain a near circular orbit of 100 kilometers around the moon. It is at this point that the lander is slated to separate from the main composite module and start its incremental descent towards the moon's surface. The main spacecraft, however, will continue to go around the moon in its orbit for at least one full year.
When we are coming near to that bird, that our heartbeat used to increase, and the 30 minutes our heart was almost stopping today. Still it is completing the job.
ISRO Chief K. Sivan recapitulating the tense moments before Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft entered the lunar orbit on Tuesday. As planned, the lunar orbit insertion maneuver was completed at 9:02 a.m. using the onboard propulsion system. The maneuver lasted 1,738 seconds. The lunar orbit insertion maneuver is the first of a series of orbit maneuvers that will help Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft to enter its final orbit, passing over the lunar poles at a distance of about 100 kilometers from the moon's surface. After the last maneuver on 1st September, Chandrayaan-2 will be in its desired orbit around the moon. And following this, the Vikram lander will separate from the orbiter on 2nd September. ISRO says 2 orbit maneuvers will be performed on the lander before its powered descent to make a soft landing on the lunar surface on 7th September.
On 2nd September, wherein the lander will be separated from the orbiter. Till now, the entire operations are carried out by the propulsion systems from the orbiter, and from September 2nd onwards, the entire attention will be towards lander. That is, lander will be separated from the orbiter. I am sure that we will be able to achieve the successful landing on moon on 7th by 1:55.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated ISRO on Chandrayaan-2's entry into the lunar orbit. He called it an important step in the landmark journey to the moon. Launched on 22nd July by GSLV Mark III M1 vehicle, Chandrayaan-2 entered the lunar transfer trajectory on 14th August. It will shed light on a completely unexplored section of the moon's south polar region. The most challenging part of the venture will be on 7th September, when Chandrayaan-2 will soft land its Vikram module on the lunar surface and deploy the six-wheeled rover Pragyan to carry out scientific experiments.
Chandrayaan-2 is already around the moon, and on 7th of September we will know if it succeeds in landing, because that is a very difficult or the most difficult part of the mission. Because since moon has no atmosphere, we cannot use a parachute to slow down the lander. So they have to use retro rockets, jets, and that has to be controlled very precisely from Earth. So if the ISRO scientists can do it, then India will become the fourth country in the world to achieve that feat.
Chandrayaan-2 is carrying 14 payloads, 13 Indian and a passive payload from NASA, with special focus of the orbiter on mapping craters in the polar region, besides checking for water once again. The rover payloads will check mineralogical compositions on the moon and determine the composition of lunar rocks and soil, while instruments on the lander will measure thermal properties and seismicity.
Tomorrow we may have to set up our bases on moon. This is the place where there is hardly any sunshine. So as a result, the possibility of finding water is maximum over there, and possibility of setting up a base is also more, because most of the time it is not, when the sun shines on the surface of moon, sun is very harsh, the temperature shoots up to more than 100 degrees centigrade. So these are the reasons why South Pole is important. It is known that the South Pole is having the resources, the deposits of helium and helium-3, which is a fuel for fusion reactors. So these are going to be very important for our energy needs as well.
The lunar expedition is being monitored from the Mission Operations Complex at ISRO Telemetry, Tracking and Command Network in Bengaluru, with support from Indian Deep Space Network antennas at Bailalu near Bengaluru. The last nation to attempt a soft landing on the moon was by Israel, and it was a failure earlier this year. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Chandrayaan-2, which is India's second lunar mission, aims to go where no other country has ever gone before, that is the moon's south polar region, where among other things, it will look for lunar water. Launched on 22nd of July, India's moon mission is all set to land near the moon's south pole on the 7th of September. Our next report takes a detailed look at Chandrayaan-2 that weighs over 3,000 kgs and carries a suite of 14 experiments that are distributed among the orbiter, the lander and the rover.
3, 2, 1, 0.
The fully indigenous mission Chandrayaan-2 has 3 modules, an orbiter, a lander named Vikram and a rover named Pragyan. The orbiter will orbit the moon at an altitude of 100 kilometers. There are 8 instruments on the orbiter, including a laser retroreflector from NASA, which is the only foreign payload in the mission. The orbiter is a box-shaped craft with an orbital mass of 2,379 kilograms and solar panels capable of generating 100 watts of electricity. The orbiter high-resolution camera will conduct high-resolution observations of the landing site prior to the separation of the lander from the orbiter. The orbiter's structure was manufactured by the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. The 5-legged Vikram lander is a module that will enable the delivery of the Pragyan rover to the lunar surface while conducting a few experiments of its own. The rover will roll out once the lander has successfully landed at the desired spot. The lander consists of several instruments or payloads that will be constantly carrying out experiments throughout its mission time. Vikram has been developed to operate for 1 lunar day, which is equivalent to 14 Earth days. During this time period, Vikram will constantly be communicating with the Indian Deep Space Network in Byalalu near Bengaluru. The same network will be used by the orbiter and the rover for communication. Vikram weighs 1,471 kilograms, including the 27 kilogram Pragyan rover inside it. It is capable of generating about 650 watts of electricity. The lander is named Vikram to honor the late Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, a former chairman of ISRO who is widely regarded as the father of the Indian space program. The rover of Chandrayaan-2 is a 6-wheeled robotic vehicle named Pragyan, which is a Sanskrit word meaning wisdom. Pragyan is able to travel up to 500 meters or half a kilometer at a speed of 1 centimeter per second and is powered by solar energy. The Pragyan rover is powered through artificial intelligence and is capable of communicating only with the lander. Pragyan can conduct the in-situ payload experiments. The total weight of Pragyan rover is 27 kilograms and it has an electric power generation capacity of 50 watts. Chandrayaan-2's lander and rover are targeted to land at a location about 600 kilometers from the lunar south pole, which would be the first time any mission has touched down so far from the moon's equator. ISRO plans to use the experience for more challenging missions in the future, such as touching down on an asteroid or Mars or sending a spacecraft to Venus.
The effort of ISRO has been to achieve something at the lowest cost, and that they have succeeded very well, because if you look at the first Mars mission of India, at the same time when we launched the Mars mission in 2013, the United States launched another its Mars mission, MAVEN, but the cost of the Indian mission was 1/10 that of the American mission. Similarly, Chandrayaan, the lunar missions Indian missions cost 1/10 of what the United States have been spending for similar missions. And that they do it by, innovative way.
If you compare our Chandrayaan mission, we are taking much longer time, almost 42 or 44 days to reach moon. But other countries did it in much shorter time, but at a much higher cost. We have decided to use the gravity of moon, so that doesn't matter, it takes longer time, but we will be doing it in a cost-effective manner.
Chandrayaan-2 was successfully launched on July 22nd by GSLV Mark III M1 launch vehicle from Sriharikota, just days after the 50th anniversary of the first human moon landing, Apollo 11. If its landing on the moon is successful, it will make India the 4th country in the world to successfully conduct a soft landing on the satellite's surface.
Chandrayaan-2 is already around the moon, and on 7th of September we will know if it succeeds in landing, because that is a very difficult or the most difficult part of the mission. Because since moon has no atmosphere, we cannot use a parachute to slow down the lander. So they have to use retro rockets, jets, and that has to be controlled very precisely from Earth.
The previous moon mission, Chandrayaan-1, made a hard landing on the moon's surface. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
ISRO's to-do list has a string of interesting projects in the near future. The Gaganyaan mission in 2022 is one of them. The agency is also working on interplanetary missions over the coming decade. Its destinations will be Mars, Moon, Venus, the Sun's corona, and interplanetary space in order to study space. More details of ISRO's upcoming projects in this report.
ISRO will be sending 2 unmanned missions to Moon in December 2020 and July 2021. But before that, all eyes are on its second lunar mission that's underway to land a rover on the Moon. Till date, America, Russia and China are the only 3 nations to have soft-landed spacecraft on the Moon's surface. With its lunar mission, ISRO for the first time will be landing a rover on the Moon's south pole. The complex mission comprises an orbiter, lander, and rover. Besides the landing, the Chandrayaan-2 mission also encourages new experiments by using and testing of new technologies. At a cost of 800 crore rupees, the Chandrayaan-2 mission is an advanced version of the previous Chandrayaan-1 mission launched 10 years ago.
And then also ISRO has plans to send a mission to the Sun, to Venus, and then another mission to Moon. Chandrayaan-3 is also on, in the plan. But the most important thing is the human mission. See, ISRO plans to send the first human or the first Indian to space in December 2021. Before that, 2 unmanned missions will be taken up and a manned mission will be taken up in December 2021. Before the 2022.
The next big date on the ISRO calendar is the Aditya L1 mission. It will be the first probe to study the Sun's atmosphere and corona. Aditya L1 is expected to be launched sometime in 2019-20 on a PSLV rocket. Corona refers to the outer layer of the Sun. Interestingly, this outer layer has a temperature higher than the surface of Sun itself. The corona's temperature of over 1,000,000 degree Kelvin mystery that NASA's Parker probe is currently exploring. Next comes India's maiden human space flight program, Gaganyaan. In 2022, Gaganyaan will be an Indian crewed orbital spacecraft that will be the basis of the Indian human space flight program. The spacecraft is designed to carry 2 to 3 people. Gaganyaan will be launched on ISRO's biggest rocket, the GSLV Mark III from Sriharikota.
See, this present the moon mission, we are going to land on the moon. Now this is just the beginning. A lot more has to be done on the surface of moon. So that will be one kind of a set of experiments and future missions going to explore moon further, perhaps maybe in near future trying to setting up a base on the moon. Then a very important mission is planned, that is the manned mission, sending Indian, a person of Bharat, into space, and that is going to be a very, very big achievement once again. Now, if you talk of Mars, very soon further Mars missions are going to be planned, and definitely it is much beyond Mars now. So, we have to be planning which in soon in the future course of action, the ISRO will be revealing other plans, but primarily the plans are on sending bigger satellites, larger satellites on a commercial basis, earning money, becoming self-sustaining. On the other hand, exploring moon with further missions, exploring Mars and beyond.
ISRO will also reinstate its microwave remote sensing capability through the Radar Imaging Satellite or RESAT series and attain operational geo-imaging capability through the GISAT series. The launch of GSAT-20 will help it to meet the high bandwidth and in-flight connectivity needs of Digital India. The Mars Orbiter Mission 2 will be India's second mission to Mars. Initially, Mangalyaan-2 was to be a partnership between ISRO and CNES, the French space organization. But till 2018, there was no news of France being involved. The mission is supposed to go live in 2022-2023, but the government has already budgeted for the mission in 2017 proposals. Chandrayaan-3 mission is slated for late 2020s. It is an extension of Chandrayaan series and a precursor to the Gaganyaan. The Shukrayaan mission will study the similarities that planet Venus has with Earth. Venus has a high exposure to solar radiation. The orbiter mission could be sent sometime between 2023 to 2025 to study the dense and hot atmosphere of Venus. With the International Space Station expected to wind up in 2028, India will launch its own space station in 2023. It will weigh 15 to 20 tons and host space visitors for 15 to 20 days. The space mission is the extension of 10,000 crore rupees Gaganyaan mission. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
As we discuss the new frontiers that ISRO is looking at, it is also important to take a look at India's space history. Since the launch of India's first sounding rocket back in 1963, the country's space program has grown by leaps and bounds. We leave you with this report that takes a look at how India's space program has progressed since its inception. Thank you very much for your time.
India launched its first sounding rocket from Tumba near Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala on 21st November 1963, marking the beginning of the Indian space program. It was in 1962 that the Indian National Committee for Space Research was set up. It laid the foundation of Indian Space Research Organisation in 1969. After setting up ISRO, the government constituted the Space Commission. It established the Department of Space in June 1972 and brought ISRO under the Department of Space in September 1972. India launched its first satellite Aryabhatta in 1975 and then in 1979 Bhaskara 1 was launched. Aryabhatta weighed 360 kilograms. On 10th August 1979, ISRO launched a series of satellites and named the mission Rohini. The Rohini series had 4 satellites, all launched by the Satellite Launch Vehicle, and 3 that made it successfully to orbit. The series were mostly experimental satellites. The Ariane Passenger Payload Experiment, or APPLE, was ISRO's first indigenous experimental communication satellite. It was launched on June 19, 1981. ISRO took a huge step by developing telecommunications satellite. The Indian National Satellite or INSAT system is one of the largest domestic communication satellite systems in the Asia-Pacific region, with 9 operational communication satellites placed in geostationary orbit. It was commissioned in 1983. On 30th August 1983, the INSAT-1B satellite was launched. Its full operational capability was achieved in October 1983. Rakesh Sharma made history by becoming the first and only Indian to travel to space in a Soviet rocket that was launched on April 2, 1984. Then, on 17 March 1988, ISRO launched its first remote sensing mission, IRS-1A. It was a part operational, part experimental mission to develop Indian expertise in satellite imagery. The first multi-purpose satellite, INSAT-2A, built by India, was successfully operationalized in August 1992. INSAT-2A-B of the INSAT-2 series of satellites was launched on July 23, 1993. These are all multi-purpose satellites for telecommunication. On September 29, 1997, ISRO launched its first fully operational satellite aboard a locally developed rocket. India's Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, or PSLV, slid into orbit, an Earth imaging satellite, after a textbook liftoff from Sriharikota Island. Kalpana 1 was the first dedicated meteorological satellite launched by ISRO using PSLV on September 12, 2002. Then ISRO launched the GSAT-3, also known as EduSat, a communications satellite, on 20th September 2004. EduSat is the first Indian satellite built exclusively to serve the educational sector. On December 22, 2005, ISRO successfully launched INSAT-4A from the European Ariane 5G launch vehicle of Arianespace. With 12 high-power Ku-band transponders, INSAT-4A was the first satellite to meet the requirement of direct-to-home television services, apart from carrying 12 C-band transponders to augment the INSAT capacity for communication and TV services. And with the successful launch of Chandrayaan-1 on October 22, 2008, ISRO's historic moon mission began. It was sent in space through PSLV C-11. ISRO had another major success on July 1, 2013, when it launched the IRNSS-1A navigation satellite. Along with this, India has stepped into making its own GPS system on the lines of America. It was on 5th November 2013 when India successfully launched its Mars Orbiter mission or Mangalyaan, a space probe orbiting Mars since 24th September 2014. The 350-ton Mangalyaan was scheduled to orbit Earth for nearly a month, building up the necessary velocity to break free from our planet's gravitational pull. The total cost of the project was 450 crore rupees, 1/6 of the cost of a Mars probe set to be launched by NASA in 13 days. IRNSS-1I was the 8th navigational satellite to join the IRNSS space segment launched by the ISRO in April 2018. On February 15, 2017, ISRO wrote a new chapter in the history of space research by creating a world record of launching 104 satellites simultaneously through the PSLV C-37. This was the 38th successful mission of PSLV in a row. The total weight of all the 104 satellites carried on board PSLV C-37 was 1,378 kgs. PSLV C-37 blasted off first from the launch pad at the Satish Dhawan Space Center and first injected Cartosat-2 series satellites into orbit, followed by the other 103 nano satellites, including 96 from the US, in a gap of about 30 minutes. The GSLV Mark III, the heaviest rocket ever made by India and capable of carrying large payloads, was launched from Sriharikota on June 5, 2017. The GSLV Mark III was designed to carry 4-ton class of satellites into the geosynchronous transfer orbit, which is about twice the capability of GSLV Mark II. At the same time, India has made its place in the field of space technology. On June 29, 2017, ISRO launched GSAT-17, the heaviest satellite ever, weighing 3,477 kilograms. On January 12, 2018, ISRO successfully launched 31 satellites in a single flight. The PSLV carried 31 satellites in total from countries including India and 6 others. The hyperspectral imaging satellite, weighing about 380 kilograms, was launched on November 29, 2018. It is an Earth observation satellite with the primary goal to provide hyperspectral imaging services to India for a range of applications in agriculture, forestry as well as defense. On 19th December 2018, GSAT-7A was successfully launched. It is ISRO's 39th geostationary satellite carrying communication transponders. ISRO launched the KalamSat V2 on January 24, 2019. It is a communication satellite built by students of Space Kids India for ham radio transmission, a form of wireless communication used by amateurs for non-commercial activities. ISRO also successfully launched the EMISAT satellite along with 28 nano foreign satellites from Sriharikota on April 1, 2019. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.